Welcome everyone to Angkor Baby. Tinamuli episode. I'm Sareth, and my guest tonight is AP, and he's
How's
based out of
everyone?
the Pacific Northwest. How's everything? Good, good. Looking for a parking spot. Welcome everyone to Angkor
Yeah,
Baby.
I found one.
Awesome.
Um, yeah. So yeah,
Weird.
thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. My dog's in my way a little bit, but yeah, like I said, trying to stay productive through this whole quarantine. I'm not gonna lie, I've been a little lazy. It's made me a little lazy. You know, and as far as like working on music, like it's been hard because like all my equipment and stuff is like I set it up in my room, and like my booth is actually my closet. So like, and we've been having this like heat wave of like 100-degree weather, so it makes it really hard to record or do anything really, because when you turn on all that stuff, the power is just so hot, so it makes my room like I have no AC. Every time I record it, I have to do it like after midnight when it gets a little cooler. You know, things like that. But yeah, just trying to stay productive as much as I can without being a little too lazy.
Indeed, it's and like the good burning that midnight oil usually gets all the creative juices flowing anyway. So
Mm.
that's what I
That's
noticed
that's
at
that's
night.
why that's when the magic happens for me. Like I like I even in the wintertime I record it because everybody goes to sleep. No distractions. And I'm one of those like weird like artists where like I turn off the lights and everything. So I don't get distracted. And that's even when writing music, I turn off my lights. So I will just use the light off like my computer or something. Things like that. But nowadays we have like phones, so I use that to just to type it in. But it's not the same. I have a connection with the pen and the pad for some reason. It's different. Like my creative flow, my creative juice is different. Like I like having the pen and the pad. That's how I usually do things. But maybe I just use the phone, anything, whatever I need to do, you know. But yeah, like I turn everything off, listen to whatever instrumental or just vibe off it, and that's basically how it goes. And then sometimes it can take me 30 minutes to write a song. Sometimes it'll take me like a month. It's weird. And I kind of work on my own time. I don't make like my job to like force myself to do things. I don't force art. I just kind of just do it when I feel like it. You know.
Indeed, I'm digging the pen and the pad technique because I always tell myself the delete key is nothing more than a distraction, and you don't want to interrupt
Yeah.
that flow, So
Yeah, it's just different. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just because I've been so used to it. Because like my chicken scratch, when I write, sometimes I can't even read my own stuff, and it's easier to just kind of like write it down really fast. And you go back to it and you figure it out. When I'm typing out, I gotta almost like look for the letters. It's kind of weird. You know.
indeed. What was like
Yeah.
your upbringing like out there out in the Pacific Northwest?
What was that again?
What was your upbringing like in the Pacific Northwest?
I like it out here. Like we came out here from California when I was a kid. I mean, I was probably about 3 or 4 years old. I remember getting here from California and the weather was so different. I mean, I got sick. I threw up on the way up here, because it was cold. It was all raining, but now it's like I love it. I love the scenery. I love the lakes and the rivers. I love water a lot. So that's why I'm at the river right now with my dog. But like, I love I love the green, all the trees and stuff like that. But we came out here because of basically work, like agricultural like jobs. Like we worked when I was little, growing up. We worked in the fields, like picking berries, or we'll go out to the woods in the wintertime and we'll pick like mushrooms and salal, like bear grass and stuff like that. And that's how we would make a living. But I like it out here. It's peaceful. I haven't really had any like problems with like people. I'm from a smaller town. I grew up with like hella chloe, so we're from a small town, so like everybody kind of like knows everybody, you know, a little bit. So, but it was fun. I'm a '90s kid. I was born in the '80s, but I'm a '90s kid. Like I grew up in the '90s, and we didn't have like cell phones, and so we a lot of times, we just hang out, like ride bikes, do the things like kids don't do nowadays. Now they have like cell phones, and that's what they're. I mean, like you see them all the time, but they're just glued onto the phone, and it's like they missed out. Like I feel bad for them in a way. They don't get to do the things that I did growing up. Climbing trees, and we did so much things. Just bike riding. That was fun for us.
Indeed, I feel you on that one, and that's why like there's like you can play Fortnite all day, or you can start building and climbing like with Legos.
Yeah.
Like there's two different kinds of kids. And speaking of
Yeah,
Hellish Flow, you worked with him on the Give You My Name. Like how did you
Give You My
you grew up
Name.
with him? Yeah. How did you
I grew up with
collaborate with him?
them. We were kids. Yeah, it's he's busy. He works a lot. Like he's definitely motivated. Like he has that passion. Like he's always, when he calls me or we talk, he's always just like, yeah, I got this song. He's always showing me something new. Like sometimes like it gets overwhelming because I'm just I feel like, man, like you're grinding so hard, and haven't really done much. I've been real busy like with working, doing features for other people, things like that. But she's getting in my way. But yeah, it's fun, because we haven't really worked on too many songs together, which I feel like we should do more. I haven't really been working on my own stuff. I've just been real busy with work when I was working, and just life. Like I'm an adult now, so I got a lot of like responsibilities and stuff like that, and but it's always fun working with him, making and with the technology we can send each other files, which is really cool. I like that a lot.
Indeed, bouncing coast to coast like that's awesome, and you're
New York. He's in New York, and I'm out here in the Pacific Northwest, so it's we get into in the studio together, and so it's easy to just send it to him, and he'll send it back, and even like with the FaceTime thing, it's pretty cool. We can work on things together if we want. We haven't done that yet, but I'm sure in the future we will.
Absolutely, and you were speaking of like your studio and your closet and how it overheats, and I was looking at your Instagram post, and your first digital recorder was a Roland. Like, what drew you to the Roland?
Yeah.
And there's some classic
At the
beats
time,
that, yeah.
At the time, it was basically, I was a teen, so maybe it was the budget, and it was before the Roland, I was using like a tape recorder. It was called like Fostex, and you would actually use cassette tapes, and it would record like 2 tracks on one side and the other 2, so you basically have 4 tracks to play with, So with the Roland was my first digital, so, and it had like 8 tracks, and it was cool. It was just something new to me. It was fun. It was a game changer for me, for sure. Because I could copy and paste my chorus and hooks and stuff like that, and then I went from there into the Pro Tools. Like I haven't updated my studio in about 20 years. That's the crazy thing. I'm still using something from like from the year 2000. That's what I still
Wow.
use. So everything that you hear from me recording is from I put my money. I make it worth my money. Because I don't feel like there's any reason for me to upgrade to all these new stuff. It's so expensive now too. Like I don't have that kind of money to just play around like that. If I did, probably, but if it isn't broken, don't fix it.
Indeed. That's what I do with all
Yeah.
my stuff. Like I just write until the wheels fall off, and then like I have a camera that I use for
Yeah.
journalism. It's like 8 years
Yeah.
old. I'm like I'm still hanging on to this until it just dies on me. So and
Exactly. That's kind of how I roll too. Me and my friends, we talk about that. Like we use things. I mean, you just want to like use it. Like I have a car that I bought like when I was like 16. It was a 1995 Honda Accord. I literally rode that till it actually came off. Like I turned the corner and all of a sudden, my car hits the ground and I'm like, whoa, well, like I come out, I go out and the wheel, the wheel on my drive side, like 20 yards back there, So I definitely use it. I don't want to. There's no reason for me to like trade it in and create more debt for me, at the time. So that's just kind of how I roll. Same thing with my music equipment. I use it, my microphone. I'll use it until it's just stopped working. Let's get back there.
yeah, I love Hondas myself. Like my
Yeah,
first car was a 2002 Honda Accord V6, and then now I drive a LX like a 2015. But like the new one I like because like it has like 600. On a full tank I get 600 miles or a little over, and I'm like, this is a nice car, Honda
yeah,
Accord. So that's some good stuff.
yeah.
Um, Yeah,
Yeah,
you work.
I put a miles on more. I got about and I'm not even lying. I got over 1 million miles in a car.
Wow,
Over a million
that's
miles. It's crazy. Yeah, like I remember hitting 900,000. I mean, it did motor about like 500,000 miles, but come on now. But I put love on it. I probably only own like I've only owned two cars my whole life. That car and then this car that I'm driving now. This is a newer one. It's a 2013, car. But like, and I like classic cars. If I had the money, I would definitely buy like these old like my dream car is like a '64 Impala or '63 Impala. If I had the money, I'd definitely love to buy that and get that fixed up and you know bring it back to life. Kind of like a hobby,
indeed.
one of those things.
A- Absolutely. I always see all those classic cars like that in LA when I used to live out there. Man, they were nice. They're nice.
Yeah,
I dig them.
really
I
nice.
saw.
And those things are if you get them like in bad shape, they're already expensive because they're such classic cars. Like if I just get the shell of like a '64 or a '63, it's probably like 20 grand. You know, and that's just the shell of it. So if I had to like put, you fix it up, how much it would cost? Probably another 40, 50,000, depending on what you do to it. You know, that's my dream car. If I had the money, I definitely would get something like that. You know, work on it,
Most
have fun with it.
indeed.
Where are you at now?
I
You're not in LA.
I know. I live in Florida at the moment, so that's why like there's a huge time difference. So I'm on the East Coast, but I plan on moving back to Colorado though, because that's where my home is. Like all my friends
Yeah.
and family are there, and so I'd much rather be amongst my family and friends, especially during these crazy times. So in time, I'll
Yeah.
move back.
Were you in Long Beach?
Florida,
Yeah. Were you in
like
Long
what?
Beach?
No, I was in Sherman Oaks in
Well, before, or were you just in LA?
yeah, in LA. Yeah, I lived out there for about 3 years, 4 years during my apprenticeship out there. So, working on some horror films and
Okay.
writing and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I was a concert journalist out there too. So I got to like see all these concerts for free, and it was like the best time ever. And which goes into my next thing is like my you worked on. I saw like a repost you did for V8 Music for Good Good. Like, how did you collaborate with him on Good Good?
Which one was that? The one from his EP. You're cutting out a little
I
bit, so I couldn't really.
Oh, it's called the. It was with V8 Music. Good, good. The song "Good, Good." I, it was like an R&B track. I
The
think you might
V8
have
song.
produced. Yep. Yeah. How did you collaborate
Yeah.
with him?
I didn't do anything. I haven't collaborated with V8. I was just
Oh,
I was just reposting. We talked. And he wants to collab. I've been wanting to collab with him for a while, but everybody's just busy. Everybody's kind of doing their own thing. And like he's in California, he's in Stockton. So
ah,
like we just talked a couple of days ago. He was like, well, you should come down for a couple of days, and get into the studio. And I was like, yeah, that sounds good. Like maybe when like after I come from us, I could stop by for a couple of days and get some stuff done. You know. And V8 is doing. I think he's doing really good for himself. He's very talented. Very talented. I think
well,
he's one of the top singers. Khmer singers. You know, R&B wise, stuff like that.
did you
Because
have a great voice too when you sang the
there's
hook
a lot
for
of
Hellish? There? Oh, you go ahead. Sorry.
my voice is a little smoother. I'm but you haven't heard some of the stuff that I haven't released. Like some of the I have so many like songs that are just like half finished. I probably have 20 songs that are just like I'll make like I'll start working on them and then like I get kind of bored with them or something else pops up and I'm like, oh, this sounds good right now, and I feel the vibe from that one. And I go into the working on it. So I got like probably like 20 songs that's like halfway done, that I need to finish, and I think if I finish them, I think it'll be great songs to put out, and I don't know if I need to do it.
Indeed, for sure. And I noticed on your post that you were inspired using music from like Guns N' Roses as an inspiration. Welcome to the Jungle. Like, what drew you to Guns N' Roses?
I can't. The volume is cutting out a little bit.
Oh,
You
for
saying something
sure.
about Guns N' Roses?
Yeah, you listen to Guns N' Roses as an inspiration. Welcome to the Jungle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guns N' Roses. I grew up listening to all kinds of music, and I still do now. I mean, Guns N' Roses is one of my favorite bands. It was like Guns N' Roses, Skid Row. I like Def Leppard. I listened to so much like I was exposed to that music early. You know, I was actually exposed to like rock music before I was like hip hop and R&B. You know, so that was the first. Those were the first type of music I was listening to Bon Jovi and everything, and I love them. You know, I still listen to. It's funny because they're like soundtrack to my life. You know, growing up. You know, because I was always into rock. You know, and I started listening to rap. And as far as influence, like them influencing me, I don't really know because when I listen to more like I'm just a fan. You know, I listen to a lot of like just I mean right now like I'm stuck on Latin music. You know,
Uh,
I don't
which
understand what
is a
the language, but yeah, like there's a band called Los Temerarios or something like that, and I've been listening to them for a long time since I was probably like 15. I'm still after that one album that I bought. I just love it. You know, Selena. I've always liked Selena. You know, she's her and Michael Jackson are my favorite artists. You know, not
excellent
Selena
choices.
Gomez, yeah,
Selena,
Selena Quintanilla, the one that from Texas. Dreaming of You, Selena, that one. Yeah, like I just love her. You know, and she she definitely influenced me. Her music, her singing style. I try to do my riffs and runs the way that she does it. You know, but she's just so good. It's so hard. You know, same thing with Michael. They're just so good. They're so hard to I don't know, copy or emulate. You know, as far as like the riffs and the vibratos and stuff like that. Yeah, those are my favorite. Like, you can hear
indeed,
as soon
and
as music comes on, it feels good right off the bat. You know?
absolutely, you feel it in your soul right away. And you interacted with like Suzette Quintanilla and Busy Bone on social media. Going back to your Latin music inspirations and hip hop
Yeah.
stuff. What was it like to be like interacting with
I
Busy
mean, it's
Bone?
not real. I mean, he just liked a comment or something that I commented, and same thing with Lena's older sister. They just liked it, you know. What I mean, and to me, I love them. So like, when I get like some sort of reaction from them, it's you know, I'm it just feels good, you know. Like, wow, you know, I never thought, you know, because yeah, they just mean so much to me, you know. Like Selena's brother actually follows me on Twitter, you know, and that was and over the years found out like her mom was actually from here, from the state, probably lives about 4 hours away from me in Yakima. You know, that's her her mom and her parents her mom and her dad met. And then her brother was born here in the state. And just to know that alone was cool. And they have family up in Seattle and stuff like that. So it was like awesome, you know. And I've always like had like plan like I plan on going to Texas to visit, like to kind of walk in her footsteps, you know, see her neighborhood and visit the museum, go to a memorial site and stuff like that. That's like what I really want to do. I think like this is probably the right time to do it, but with everything going on, I don't know. You know,
Indeed,
definitely.
it's very uncertain out there, and so um, uh, you mentioned you had a Twitter account. Where can they follow you on Twitter?
What was that?
Oh, where can the audience follow you on Twitter since you have a Twitter account?
It keep cutting out. I'm trying to like switch this. Um,
Oh, where can they find you on Twitter? Your Twitter handle.
hold on. Sorry, I haven't. Shoot.
Yeah, like there's like a you can find AP on Spotify and with his joint with Hella Schloy on the bottom and also his Instagram and Venmo is on there if you'd like to
Yeah.
support his music career. And where's your handle on Twitter? You mentioned earlier. I was gonna put that on the I was
I
trying to
can't
look
see
for
you for some reason. Something happened.
oh if you like put it where it used to be like the phone and when we first started. Oh um we'll have AP back on the screen with me. He'll log back in, I hope, so we can finish off for the conversation. But his camera must have froze on him. But it was working just fine on earlier. But hopefully we get the technical difficulties worked out for you. But as I mentioned, this is Angkor Baby, and every single week I try my best to interview fellow Cambodians, whether they're in the entertainment industry or if they have a small business or trying to make a better tomorrow for all of us as we live day to day in a brand new country, which is the U.S. To us as first generations and whatnot. But AP is back, and so his device is not connected at the moment. But as soon as it does, I'll add him. So we'll see what happens. But he should be in here soon. We'll see what happens. But as I mentioned, you can follow us on Instagram and Twitter. That's my handle right there by my name. On Instagram, you can follow AP on there and his Spotify account, where you can listen to his track.
I
Hey,
don't know what. I can't even hear
are
you.
you? I could hear you, but I can't see you. So could you hear me just fine on there? Oh, there we go. I see you, but I'll see if I can turn on your mic. Hello? I think it froze on us, but you're by the river, so I don't think we'll try to get you on the next one. We'll try to get you near Starbucks or something. So, I know as Washington's known for Starbucks, so we'll definitely get you
I'm trying.
connected there. But could you hear me? Okay. Yeah. AP's Venmo's on the bottom there. If you'd like to donate to his music career as well, that'd be awesome of you. But yeah. We're gonna see if I can. You mentioned that Selena's was like a the lady that played Selena in the movie, I believe. Uh, Suzette, I believe, is her name. Her brother followed you on Twitter, so as soon as we'll later on we'll put your Twitter handle on the bottom there. So I could I could hear you like a little bit, but it's definitely working out like silencing, um but we'll probably go off the air here and we'll figure it out and eventually. But that that pretty much summed it up for. Can you hear me? Okay, AP. I can see you. Hello. Well, I think we'll call it and end the show there. But we'll message each other on Instagram, and I'll find out what AP's Twitter handle is. And until then, I'll see you next week for a brand new episode of Angkor Baby, where I interview two American sisters. They are also based out of Seattle, Washington. And so until next week, I will see you soon. Be safe out there, and we'll see you next week for Angkor Baby. Take care.